Action Research. Agenda. Introduction. Objectives. Explanation of the research design and the corresponding subsections. Bibliography and references. The term action research typically applies to efforts to solve a professional practice problem or to enhance professional practice. Action research projects influence thinking skills, sense of efficacy, willingness to share and communicate, and attitudes towards the process of change. In this short presentation, we are about to see how it's possible for teachers to learn about themselves, their students, their colleagues, and can determine ways to continually improve through action research. Objective. Action research has some objectives like improving practice by the practitioner's capacity, build collegial and networking systems. But the fundamental aim of action research is to improve practice rather than produce knowledge. Teaching is always being transformed and modified by teachers, and we have tons of ways for practicing and teaching. That's how teachers are always experimenting and making mistakes. But how do we know something is actually working? Well, action research can help us to answer that question. Here we can identify a question, test out a strategy, gather data, and determine if it works. This is something dynamic, innovative, and tied directly to our classrooms. Action research dissolves the barrier between the participants and the researchers. In other words, the teacher actively participates in the situation while also conducting the research. There are many action research frameworks, but they generally follow a similar process. Phase number 1. It begins with inquiry, where we define a specific research question. It needs to be something that can actually be tested. Next, we conduct a literature review to gain a deeper understanding of the topic. Finally, we move into the design process, where we determine our data methods, consider our ethical issues, get the required permissions, and create deadlines and set up the systems. Phase number 2. This is where we engage in multiple cycles of experimentation and data collection. Our data collection might include qualitative data, like observations, artifacts, and interviews, or quantitative data, like rubric scores, surveys, or achievement date. Phase number 3. Here we will often start by organizing the data with charts of graphs and looking for specific trends. We might also discuss it with peers, pre-writing a journal, or create a cluster map before eventually writing out our results. Phase number 4. Here's where we share our research with the world and reflect on our own practice. This will ultimately lead to newer questions. And finally, this is the cycle that refines us as better, more creative teachers.